welcome back to Pachter Factor on SIFTD.net. We are very, very appreciative for our Patreon patrons. That monthly payment is helping out a lot. We're very, very much appreciative of our YouTube subscribers. It's only a couple of bucks, and you're helping a lot. Even if you're doing that or you're not, you can link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch Prime account. That is free. It costs you nothing. You already gave Amazon your hard-earned money. You worked to pay Amazon, and they're keeping it. They aren't giving it to Shane. But if you link your Twitch Prime account to your Amazon Prime account, they will give Shane some of your money that you already paid them. Costs you nothing, helps us out immensely. Please do it. The instructions are in the description right below.
This episode of Pachter Factor is brought to you by DeShazer Ryan Realty. Right now, Doug DeShazer has beautiful lots available adjacent to Koocanusa Lake in northwest Montana. Pull up your RV and access the hookups, or build your own construction. Either way, you have access to world-class fishing, hunting, boating, swimming, biking, hiking, and the internet. No matter where you're looking to buy, make Doug DeShazer your real estate consultant at 406-291-1643. That's Doug DeShazer at 406-291-1643.
Okay, fellow babies, our question today from Sifted from Zero Kaiser. How are you doing, Zero Kaiser? Unfortunately, I hate things that start with that. In the last few months, we've seen a lot of studio closures across the industry. Why don't the companies that own these studios put them up for sale instead of closing them? Because you always say it's a profit deal. It's funny, I talked to a guy at Ubisoft who shall remain nameless, who, when he saw the Arkane thing, said, we would have bought them. And they would have. And maybe they will. Maybe they'll try to massively hire those guys. Warner Brothers, I remember, I literally learned this last year at Summer Game Fest. I saw Dave Haddad, who runs Warner Brothers Interactive, and I congratulated him on Hogwarts Legacy. And I said, where did this Avalanche studio come from? And he goes, oh, they're in Utah. And I go, no, not the guys who made Disney Infinity, this Avalanche. And he goes, same guys. And I'm like, the Disney Infinity studio made Hogwarts Legacy, like that's the same guys? And he goes, yeah, they're really talented. I'm like, how did you get them? And he goes, oh, I literally read about it in the trades. They got shut down. And he goes, I pick up the phone and I called the head of the studio and I said, we'll hire all of you at the same salary and we'll believe you. If you guys want a job, you start tomorrow. And the guy said, I'll make it happen. And they did. Which tells you a whole lot about Dave Haddad because he's really smart. But the point is, he paid nothing. He just picked up the expense. He paid nothing. Could Disney have sold that for $10 million, $20 million? I mean, the price for studios tends to be somewhere between $250,000 and $1 million per developer. I don't know how big Avalanche is. I don't think they're big, like 100. But Disney left $25 to $100 million on the table, and Warner Brothers at the time would have spent it. So, the difference is that Disney shut down everything and pretty much fired everybody. And Blackburn at Warner Brothers actually came from Disney. So I know that's why they did it, because he knew the studio and he knew they were really good. And so Dave Haddad was the guy who got to be the hero. But my God, I totally agree with you. It is so dumb to shut anything down. And, along the same vein, what about old IP? Like, what happened to Ultima Online? Don't tell me it's still going. It probably is. But what happened to MechWarrior? What happened to Skylanders? What happened to Spyro the Dragon? What happened to Crash Bandicoot? And all these things have been kind of buried in acquisitions, and they're worth a lot. If not to a game maker, then to a movie studio or a TV studio. Like, why wouldn't you sell your IP? So the unasked question is, I think the guys who make studio closure decisions are exceedingly stupid and inwardly thinking, and they aren't thinking about how to make lemonade from lemons, so they just shut down the studio when they could actually open a lemonade stand where they have lemons. And so I completely agree with you. I don't know how to agree with you any more strenuously. It's a profit deal. They should do that, but they just don't seem to understand that. And of all the people who should get this, Phil Spencer should get it. I mean, he paid up for all these studios. Why would you give them away? Why would you shut them down? Now again, You worry about the talent leaving if you sell the studio, but if you're going to fire everybody anyway, then you shouldn't worry. That'll impact the price. So I completely agree, Zero Kaiser. It's a profit deal. Sell them, don't shut them down. And it's also more humane to sell them. I'll tell you, like I cover Beyond.com, which used to be called Overstock, and they renamed themselves Beyond after the Bed Bath Beyond brand. They paid something like $20 million for the brand, and they got a brand inside that called Wamsuda, which is like sheets, sheets and towels. They sold that brand for $10 million after they bought Bed Bath & Beyond. So they paid $10 million for the Bed Bath & Beyond name. That's crazy. They bought the Zulily brand out of bankruptcy for something like $4 million or $8 million. I can't remember. It was single digit. And again, these were billion-dollar, multi-billion-dollar companies. So I think that most companies that shut down studios just think they're not worth anything, because obviously to them they're worth zero, or they wouldn't shut them down. But my firm has an investment bank. They should talk to my bankers, because my bankers would shop them around and find value if there is any. I'm not allowed to do it, nor am I allowed to ask for business. But again, if you have any asset that you think is worth, somebody else might think it's worth something, you should hire a professional to help you figure that out. With a success fee. If they don't succeed, it doesn't cost you anything to hire them. I mean, to me, this is like walking away from your house because it had a fire without thinking about the land having value. I mean, there's something worth something there. So again, it's dumb. And you would hire a real estate agent if your house burned down and you didn't have insurance to see what the land was worth. You would. But again, these people who make the decisions aren't very smart. What's a rounding error, Microsoft? It doesn't even round to a penny. It's not. It's nothing.
What value do the studios have, though? Because they don't take the IP with them. It's like Arkane Austin doesn't own Prey, it doesn't own Dishonored. Those are owned by the publishers. So what value does the studio have?
True, and you don't have to sell them with the IP, but the same guys who came up with Dishonored.
You think you might try to sell it with the IP then, and give the IP along with the studio, maybe?
Why not? You're not going to make Redfall again.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, if you didn't like them enough to keep them making Dishonored, what are you going to keep the brand for? So I don't know. I mean, Take-Two bringing back Gearboxes because they want to make Borderlands 4. So I get that. Thanks for joining us on Pachter Factor on SIFTD.net. A special thanks to our Patreon patrons and our YouTube subscribers, and any of you who are paying or not. Please remember to stick it to Amazon. Link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch Prime account. Easy to do. You have to redo it every couple of months, so look at the description below and follow the steps. It's pretty simple. I appreciate if you do it. Shane gets paid. You've already paid for it. All you're doing is transferring your money from Amazon's bank account to Shane's bank account. So please stick it to Amazon, because Shane needs it badly, and I need 4 of you to do it. Just 4. Be one of the 4. And you can post on Twitter, I was one of the 4. I did it. It was free. Thanks very much for doing it. I'll see you next time.